Hello, and welcome to Strengths-Based Assessments. This is the affiliate training session number 3, how to use assessments to enhance revenue and impact. I'm Trey. This is some work that I've been doing since 2017 across over 40 states. I've delivered over 300 MTSS and SEL implementation trainings, and also separately have assessed over 1,000 educators to complete their strengths-based training and leverage their strengths in order to be more effective in their personal and professional lives. As for today, our learning objectives are to first talk about what it means to enhance revenue and impact with assessments. I'll give you some rationale there. I want to talk through productizing your consulting and coaching services, and also provide you with some templates for onboarding satisfaction surveys, proposals, and welcome letters. At the end, there are some details for you to continue understanding how to send assessments, modify assessments, navigate your platform, and that is continuations from session 1 and session 2. In the first session, we practiced logging in. We did a DISC assessment debrief so you can understand how that feels to be debriefed, and you also have your resources for debriefing. We went over homepage resources and then answered questions and feedback. For session 2, we logged into the assessment portal again, checked for any hot topics, and we went through the rationale of assessment selection. There's about 4 assessments that you have to choose from on our platform, and we went through when and why you should use each of those. We talked about managing assessment links and also sending assessments to users. Now, for part 1, increasing your coaching revenue. Assessments are a powerful tool that can help you enhance your coaching impact and revenue when used strategically. You can start to turn abstract techniques into concrete data, turn subjective thoughts into objective and observable examples, showcase qualitative and quantitative impact of your work. And so my question for you is, what tools or resources are you currently using to highlight the impact of your work? As Messy Roots coaching program outlines, there's about 9 different categories for coaching, from educational and executive coaching down to empowerment, relational, and spiritual coaching. And so whatever your MO is, there is a rationale for how to use your assessments. The first rationale is thinking about a pay-as-you-go coaching model. This is more of a one-on-one coaching style where you have an initial session and you may have some follow-up sessions along with that, but it's essentially a session at a time. And how it works, the client books a session when they need help, making it flexible and accessible. The coach facilitates deep conversation using probing questions. The session focuses on immediate problem solving, and the client leaves with an action plan. From a financial standpoint, you might be priced at about $150 to $250 per session based on your expertise. And the value is how you provide clarity and guidance, but progress depends on the client's self-awareness and ability to articulate the challenges that they're facing. With assessments in one-on-one coaching, the client completes an assessment before entering the initial call, which provides you with some immediate insights for your communication style and decision-making process. And the coach already has some insights into this communication style, which makes it much more simple to be able to get to the results. The session focuses on interpreting those results and applying them immediately, making it a bit more strategic and efficient in terms of operations. Financially, you can look at almost doubling your prices here from $150 to $250, up to $250 to $500 per session, excuse me. And then I would recommend doing an assessment plus a 60-minute debrief, or an initial session plus follow-up. You can also have that $600 to $1,000. When we're using assessments, you get some faster breakthroughs, immediate clarity, and more effective coaching in a single session. In the cohort-based model for teams and groups, without assessments, we are able to create collaborative learning experiences, facilitate engaging discussions, and well. Alternatively, though, group dynamics might be unbalanced as some participants may dominate while others remain more passive. With cohorts, I've seen 5 to 10,000, even 2 to 3 to 4 to $5,000 per cohort. When you're looking at team-based pricing, the impact is strengthening those relationships and leadership skills, but without some of the concrete data that we have available with assessments. On the assessment side, DISC establishes a common language, helping folks understand their individual strengths and challenges. And the coach delivers a team report showing aggregate strengths, weaknesses, and actionable recommendations. The leaders receive quantifiable insights, making it easier to track impact and justify continued coaching. This can expand our cohort model to even more of an advisory operation where you have 10,000 up to 30,000 per cohort. The impact value, the team experience stronger communication, trust, leadership effectiveness. Organizations see measurable improvements, increase the likelihood of long-term coaching contracts. Workplace coaching. This is for folks that are just looking to distribute and assess their team internally. So without assessments, you rely on intuitive feedback and reflective-based conversations on self-awareness. The feedback might be more subjective in managers' review or self-assessment. The progress is tracked a little bit more subjectively, and the engagement may vary dependent on the expertise and flexibility of your coach on site. With assessments, again, we have more data-driven and personalized based on your results of the assessment. The data is concrete and objective, clear metrics for benchmark and progress, and improved engagement. So this is actually a tool. We have tools that you can use for hiring. You can use these tools for onboarding. You can use these tools for performance reviews and assessments. And so it just makes things a little bit simpler and easier to understand. A caveat for some of the pricing before we go into part two. These are recommended prices. These are all prices that I've showed you are things that I have charged before for different work. And you can go higher, you can go lower, you can go right in the middle. But I want to give you some of those mindsets. And now we want to look at productizing your service with a set scope, sequence, and price. Oops. So when we think about a set project scope, what problem are we solving and how long will it take? In this proposal here, I have the Thomasville High School who's seeking support through spring 25. That is our window. That is our time frame for execution. To support, we'll provide a strengths-based workshop, and you'll receive my support step by step through the way. This is the problem we're solving. Establish the leadership team culture and expectations. Support Thomasville High's culture reset by leveraging strengths. Equip each staff member with tools to experience success at work and home. That's our set project scope. The deliverables, what exactly are you getting in this set scope? You have an onboarding call, 2 leadership calls and assessments. We have an on-site training, recap, and 2 follow-up sessions, which we actually ended up converting into a second on-site session. They were just right up the road. And you also will have a strengths development report. The sequence of this process, every client that works with me goes through a 5-step implementation process. First is onboarding, where we meet with key stakeholders and discuss milestones and success metrics. Second is our leadership coaching calls, where folks debrief the assessment, a 90-minute small group debrief for the leadership team. We have a second call where we're discussing one-on-one discussion series, working through collaboration strategies with each team member. Milestone 4 is our on-site strengths training. And milestone 5, again, are 2 advisory calls. And in this case, we ended up updating that to be a second on-site session. So this is a sequence. And when I run into folks that say, Trey, your budget is too high, okay, cool. Let's take off milestone 5, and that will chop you down to a different number. Trey, that's still too much. Okay, let's take off one of these pre-coaching calls. That'll take you down. And so since I have it broken down into a sequence with milestones, it's going to be a lot easier for me to adjust my price without giving discounts. Milestone 1 and 2, onboarding call. Welcome, onboarding call and welcome letter distribution. This is the letter that all participants get that break down when and what time we're meeting, what we're going to be addressing. You have an onboarding survey, which is beautiful for measuring your results. And then you also have your assessment to complete with a sample of your report as well. Also, additionally in that welcome letter is our relationships and communication agenda. So this was a 2-hour agenda that includes your opening activity, engaging activity, and closing activities. After the session, when we talk about recap, this is where we compare the onboarding survey results with, in this case, it's the 30-day post-training results. So I do onboarding, session satisfaction, and 30-day post-training. So this is showing us that even 30 days after the initial training, 80.8% of participants said well-being improved a lot as a result of our work. And so just to know, that's a Likert scale. So 100%, I think is actually like 95%, said that well-being improved, but 80% said it improved a lot. This is the data that I want them to pass right on up to the district and make sure we get some renewal information as well. As for the qualitative insights, we've got some direct quotes from team members that show how they've been using their strengths over the last 30 days. The final deliverable that we give folks, along with the recap, we look at the data, but there's also a 3-page executive summary that provides the leadership team with insights on how to support their team based on strengths and limitations. And so the first page is just introductory. The second page is an executive summary where we're looking at, hey, your team, leader, owner, boss, you have a balanced team that promotes structure and adaptability. The strengths are detail orientation and collaboration. They're most effective when they have structured workflows and clear expectations. They could improve on their balance between focusing on the task and people, and their results focus. They really want to have shared goals and provide quality work. The rest of this breaks down, in single sentences, coaching and feedback, provide clear constructive feedback with clear expectations on next steps. Systems and processes, prefer data-driven decisions that are consistent and ongoing. And then the third page gives you more of a paragraph summary with suggestions to lead and coach your team as well. Part 3, mindset and strategy. Well, this is a large part of business as a whole. I've been in places where I was nickel and diming folks and you don't really have the flexibility to adjust or to adapt your services because you're not getting paid enough to do that, versus now where I'm looking more at premium services so that I don't need as many clients and I can serve them most effectively. And so thoughts on business growth and pricing. How much money can you make on your day off? I put here 1 to 10K. If you are still in a full-time role, this is a great way to think about growing your business. Use your days off to deliver. Your average monthly salary or income times the number of days off equals your coaching and earning capacity. Now, the reason I said your monthly dollar amount or monthly income, depending on the structure of your business, I would say that you should charge your fees should be equivalent to your monthly salary or your 2-week paycheck. So if I make $3,500 a month in my job, then why not have my 2 to 4 or full-day training session also cost $3,500? That way, one business transaction is equivalent to my work time and effort, making it easier for me to transition if that's the case, or just keep on stacking up if I'm not ready to transition. The second is fractional team members. So a monthly retainer. And there's cases where I'm a fractional strategy officer. I've been a fractional strengths officer. those are probably the main two, or at least that I would call them. I've been a high school advisor for folks, and this is essentially where we're looking at a percentage of a full salary for a similar type of role. So I was formerly a dean of students at a K-12 charter school. When I stepped down, they kept me on as a high school advisor. And so this is a bit larger than my original scope of work, but I'm charging a fraction of what a dean of students would normally make, which makes it a good balance. I'm able to have a monthly retainer. I'm able to get paid consistently for my work, and they don't have to spend a full salary and pay benefits for a role that's not full time. Then we have assessments plus coaching. So thinking about single sessions or bundles, $250 to $2,500 a session, again, depending on if this is individual or small group, but add an assessment fee to your coaching services. So if you already have existing services, if you're already making money in your coaching or consulting businesses, just add a fee to whatever your original price is. If it's $250 a session, make it $350. If it's $150 a session, make it $210. The assessments that we charge you all for now at a flat rate of $60. So I would say at least add $60 so you're not losing money on your assessments. The last model, this is the model that I use, which is a 5-client premium model, max 5 clients, premium clients paying 5K or more. So developing a premium service that allows you to deliver high impact to just a few clients. The way my business works is I look for one new client each month. And on a quarterly basis, I would like one of those 3 new clients to elevate into an annual or retainer plan until my business becomes full. Right now, I'm full because I have actually 6 premium clients, 2 of which are super OGs that I've been working with for a long time. And so I just combine those because together they meet that minimum engagement threshold that I'm looking for. Developing a premium service that allows you to deliver high impact to a few clients. This is how you take away the stress in your business. If you need 100 clients, that takes a lot of work. If you need 5 clients, it doesn't take as much work. And because you're working with more premium clients, they are more willing to do the work that you set out for them. When you don't charge folks much, you got to pull and scratch and claw to get them to do the work. When people make investments, when they invest $5 to $10 to $20 to $40 to $50,000, they will show up. They will show up. Some pricing strategies to go along with the mindset. So one-on-one coaching session, 160 to 300. I would actually encourage you to go even higher than that, but this includes, again, $100 for the one-on-one, $60 for the assessment, or $240 for the one-on-one, $60 for the assessment. Executive coaching sprint. So think about a 7-day service or a 3-call service. You have an onboarding call where you introduce the client to the assessment tool, their welcome letter. After you get off that call, they complete it and you return for a 60-minute debrief. After that debrief, you have a 3rd call that recaps and asks them if they found value in your time together. And if they want to continue working, then you can expand that coaching role. If they don't, then you can go on to your next client. Bundled coaching, meaning 4+ one-on-ones or semester monthly coaching, depending on your industry. And here I'm looking at, say, $1,000 and a minimum of 4 sessions or monthly support. Now, me personally, I like commas when checks are received. So sometimes if it's less than 1,000, less than 5,000, I may either try to do it for free, or depending, again, if it's like a virtual session, it's fine. But I like commas in my check. So there's cases when I may do it for free, or I may have to reject the offer because it's not going to be productive for me. And I got a family to feed, got a mortgage to pay, and I got a business to run. So if I could do it for free, I will. If not, we're going to have to at least get close to some of the numbers that I'm looking for. Training and facilitation, this is groups of 3 to 50. My assessment coach told me that some folks charge up to $2,000 per hour, $2,500 per hour. So for example, if I have a 4-hour session at $4,800, I will be charging $1,200 an hour. It's a good rate, because then you also have to think about, for every hour on site, there's probably 3 to 4 hours of prep that you have to do as well. So that even $1,000 an hour becomes a bit more of a fractional cost for the prep work that you have to do, and then maybe about $15,000 for semester leadership coaching. Training and facilitation, I was started here already. So $1,000 to $2,500 per hour, $2,500 to $5,000 a day, or $5,000 to $10,000 per day, plus an advisory coaching calls after our training session to ensure that the impact is lasting. Finally, I've shared with you a couple options for you to be able to look at the full proposal, welcome letter, and invoice, as well as onboarding and satisfaction surveys. I thought this would be helpful for you from a standpoint of just seeing the real things and having some templates that you can use that will highlight what running your business looks like. So in that QR code, you have a link to this page here where you'll see the 2025. This is my new surveys for the year. This is what I'm using this year. We've got our satisfaction, onboarding, and post-training survey. And I have 2 breakdowns of services as well. So this one was a $5,000 project. They opted out of their advisory, so it went down to $5,000. That was their budget. And I've also included here the proposal, 1-page proposal with the milestones that I discussed. And then you have the actual welcome letter that includes your agenda and assessment link for participants. The other folder is organizational level. So this is a whole school, a high school, and they were able to meet the full 9,500 and get their support for the rest of the spring semester. Additionally, we have our welcome letter with the same information, the schedule and prep information, the 1-page proposal, 2-page proposal in this case. So these are the components that make up, these are the references you can utilize to understand how to structure and productize your service as well. And if you have questions about this, you know how to reach me via comment or also send me an email. The last few slides here are just recaps and refreshers. So when you're in your assessment account, your assessment portal, there are details for you to update your logo. There's step-by-step processes to show you how to send assessments, homepage resources. There's a screenshot for you there, full admin guide written, and then you've got your 40-page platform instruction guide. Additionally, you have your assessment trainer resources. So this includes your facilitation guides, your debrief guides, any training materials and activities that have all been pulled from their assessment portal to make just a little bit easier to access. That's how you enhance your revenue and impact using assessments. Once more, if you have questions, let me know in the comment section. Shoot me an email, text me, however you know how to get a hold of me. And we will see you next time. So excited for you to be a part of the affiliate team.